You know, a well-lit garden is more than just beautiful. It also makes your outdoor spaces safer at night. Good lighting helps you see steps and pathways, which honestly reduces the risk of trips and falls. Properly installed lights can also deter unwanted visitors. Safe wiring keeps your family and home safe. If garden lighting is installed the wrong way, things can go wrong. Lights may not work as planned. There is also a risk of short circuits or even fire. That's why it's important to follow each step closely. Taking your time means fewer problems down the road. When you wire your garden lights the right way, you gain peace of mind. Your garden becomes a cozy place to relax after sunset. Lights can highlight your favorite trees, paths, and flower beds. They help your home stand out in your neighborhood too. Remember, safety always comes first. Using proper equipment and following instructions will keep your garden beautiful and secure. Let's get started and make it right from the very first step. So, a low-voltage transformer is the heart of any garden lighting system. It changes regular house current into a safe, low voltage. Most garden lights use 12 volts, much lower than the 120 volts in your home. This makes them safer for outdoor use and less risky if wires get damaged. The transformer plugs into a normal outdoor outlet, then sends the right amount of power to your garden lights. Without a transformer, your lights could burn out or even cause a hazard. The transformer also allows you to control when your lights turn on and off. You'll usually find several terminals on your transformer. These let you connect wires that run out to the lights in your garden. Some transformers also have timers or smart controls built in. This means you can set your lights to turn on at sunset or off at bedtime. Always choose a transformer that matches the total wattage of your lights. If in doubt, pick one with a bit more capacity. This helps your system run smoothly and last longer. Start by choosing a good spot for your transformer. It should be close to an outdoor outlet and away from places where it might get flooded. Read all instructions that come with your transformer before you begin. Make sure the power is off before handling any wires. Next, measure how much wire you need to reach all your garden lights. Cut the wire to the correct lengths. Use only outdoor-rated, low-voltage cable. Strip about ½ inch of insulation from the ends of each wire. This makes connections easier and more secure. Lay out the wires along the path you want them to run. Keep them clear of walkways, driveways, and playgrounds. Double-check that you have enough cable for each section. It's better to have a bit too much than not enough. Safety tip: always keep wires away from sharp edges and heat sources. If you need to dig, call before you dig to avoid hitting buried pipes or cables. Wear gloves and eye protection while working with wires. Outdoor connections need extra care. Rain, snow, and dirt can damage exposed wires. Always use connectors made for outdoor use. These keep water out and prevent wires from corroding. Use waterproof wire nuts or gel-filled connectors for each connection. After joining wires, tuck connections into a weatherproof box or enclosure. Never leave wire ends out in the open. Seal up the box tightly. Check for any gaps or cracks where water might get in. If you use a junction box, mount it above ground to avoid water pooling inside. Wrap each finished connection with electrical tape for extra safety. This adds another layer of protection against the weather. When installing the transformer, make sure it's in a spot shielded from direct rain. Some transformers come with covers, but you can also add a small roof above it. Safety tip: never work with wet hands. If you see any damaged wires, replace them before finishing your setup. Always double-check that every connection is tight and covered. Alright, so each transformer has a maximum wattage it can handle. You'll want to add up the wattage for every garden light you plan to use. Try not to use more than 80% of the transformer's rating. For example, if your transformer supports 200 watts, you should only use up to 160 watts. This keeps the system safe and, helps it last longer. Spread the lights out along the wire so the load is balanced. Don't put too many lights on one run. If If you have many lights, it's a good idea to split them into 2 or more branches. Use the terminals on your transformer for each branch. Now, if you use long wires, you might notice the last lights are dimmer. This is called voltage drop. To avoid it, use heavier gauge wire for those long runs. Or, you could place the transformer closer to where most lights are. And here's a quick safety tip. Never overload your transformer. Overloading can cause overheating and, honestly, even fire. Always check the wattage of each light and add it up before wiring. Grounding is a key part of any outdoor electrical work. It protects you from shocks if something goes wrong. Most transformers have a grounding screw or wire. Attach a copper wire to this point and run it to a proper ground stake. Drive the ground stake deep into the soil, at least 8 inches if you can. Clamp the ground wire tightly to the stake. Make sure the connection is solid and cannot come loose. Some transformers may already have a plug with a ground prong. Never cut this off. If your transformer is mounted on a wall, check that the wall is not metal. If it is, make sure it's also properly grounded. A good ground connection protects your entire system and everyone who uses the garden. Safety tip: always turn off the power before grounding the transformer. Use tools with insulated handles for extra safety. If you're not sure about grounding, ask a qualified electrician. Lay your cables where they won't get stepped on or cut. Tuck them along fences, garden borders, or under mulch. If you must cross a path, run the cable through a plastic conduit. This keeps it safe from shovels, rakes, and lawnmowers. Bury cables at least 6 inches deep for best protection. Mark the cable path with small stakes or flags. This helps you remember where the cables are if you need to dig later. Avoid placing cables near tree roots or in wet spots where water collects. Use cable clips or stakes to hold wires in place. This stops them from moving or getting pulled loose. Keep cables away from pets and areas where children play. Safety tip: don't use indoor extension cords for outdoor lights. Only use wires rated for wet locations. Always check your cable for cuts or damage before burying it. Now you're ready to connect the lights. Each light will have 2 short wires. Strip the ends and attach them to your main cable using waterproof connectors. Make sure each connection is tight and sealed against moisture. Once all lights are connected, plug in the transformer. If your transformer has a timer, set it to turn the lights on at dusk and off at dawn. Some models have smart controls. You can use your phone to set custom schedules or control the lights from anywhere. Test each light as you go. This way, you'll know right away if there's a loose connection. Adjust the angle and position of each light for the best effect. Try to aim lights away from windows to avoid glare. Safety tip: don't look directly into the lights when testing them. If a light doesn't turn on, double-check the connectors and the bulb. Never force wires into place. Always use the right connectors. Turn on the transformer and walk through your garden. Check that every light comes on and looks bright. If you see any dark spots, adjust the lights or add more. Listen for any buzzing or see if lights flicker. This could mean a loose connection. If a light is dim or doesn't work, unplug the transformer before checking the wires. Make sure all connections are tight, dry, and not corroded. Replace any bad bulbs or connectors right away. Most problems are easy to fix if caught early. Once you're happy with the setup, cover any exposed wires with mulch or soil. Clean up tools and store any leftover materials. Enjoy your safe, glowing garden each night. Your good wiring job will last for many years. By following these steps, you make your outdoor space safer and more inviting. Remember to check your system every few months and after storms. A little care goes a long way in keeping your garden lights looking great and working safely.